Shalom, shalom, shalom. Giving all the praise, honor, and infinite glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who I learn from daily. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners like unto a speckled bird. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, on the highways and byways, doing lessons and videos, week in and week out, in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, sincere Akwaf, who's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. This is your brother Isaiah Allah back at you with a quick report through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, I hope this is edifying to the elected of the nation of Israel. And as you can see, I got this on BBC News. U.S. to partially evacuate the embassy in Iraq over security threats. Now, if you don't understand what's going on, we're going to read the article so you can, because it's pretty short, and elaborate essentially what's happening. There was a meeting between the Iranian defense minister as well as Donald Trump. And apparently they want the U.S. wants Iran to stop trying to farm uranium for their nuclear weapon, man. But of course, Iran is not going to stop doing that at all. And now the U.S. is starting to get a little bit nervous, and that's why they're starting to do evacuations. And it's we're in that time, brothers. All right, there's so much going on, and you know the men of the Lord, we're watching these prophecies and things happening. We're in the time of war. And it's about to be an all-out hell and chaos that's going to break out on all sides, man. On all sides, okay. And right now, these Carmanians are starting to get he's going back into that wild man, man. Ishmael, that wild man that the scriptures talk about in the book of Genesis, man. We're seeing this happen, and so let's read this article. Non-essential U.S. embassy staff and their dependents in Baghdad are evacuating from Iraq due to heightened security risk. U.S. government sources said on Wednesday. Officials did not say exactly what prompted the removal. However, in recent days, talks over Iran's nuclear program appeared to have stalled. A U.S. State Department official told the BBC, "We are constantly assessing the appropriate personnel posture at all our embassies. Based on our latest analysis, we decided to reduce the footprint of our mission in Iraq." U.S. President Donald Trump told a podcast on Wednesday that he was growing less confident that a deal could be reached over Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. wants Iran to stop enriching uranium, which can be used to create a nuclear bomb in exchange for easing economic sanctions. Iranian Defense Minister Aziz Nasirzadeh said his country would retaliate against U.S. bases in the region if talks fail, and Trump orders military strikes against Iran. And I just received an article on that Iran is threatening, as threatened that he's going to attack these military, he's going to do something to these military bases if they can't come to some sort of agreement or deal. And so the spirit YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI has on these leaders is beautiful. All right, because they're now starting to get more and more agitated with each other, and now they're like it's about to be all out war, man. All right, we're in that third world war, just not at the apex of it. Where it's going to turn nuclear, all right? Because we know what the scriptures say, that this is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. Let me get that real quick through the spirit of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Isaiah chapter 9. And verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. That's how we fought in the ancient world, all right? But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, thermonuclear destruction, man. And these talks are ramping up more and more, man. All right. And so continuing on with the article, Reuters reports that U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also approved the voluntary departure of families of U.S. military personnel from countries across the Middle East, including Kuwait and Bahrain. And what's going to be hilarious with that, they're going to be departing and they're going to come back here, and there's going to be war even on this soil. And so there's no escaping Salakia from the judgment of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right. They're just coming over. They're leaving one hellhole and coming to another one. That's actually being established as we speak. Testifying in front of a congressional panel on Wednesday, Hegseth said he believed there are plenty of indications that Iran is moving their way towards something that would look a lot like a nuclear weapon. You hear that? Iran says its uranium enrichment program is for civilian energy generation and that it is not trying to build an atomic bomb. Also on Wednesday, the UK's Maritime Trade Operations Organization, part of the Royal Navy, issued a warning saying that the increased military tensions in the Middle East could affect shipping. The price of oil initially increased more than 4%, when news of the U.S. evacuation broke in anticipation of regional insecurity potentially leading to supply problems. Around 2,500 U.S. troops are based in Iraq, according to the Defense Department. And so we're in that. So we're in the time now that this war is about to pop off, man. This is about to get hectic, brothers, over there in the Middle East and our land, man. All right, and we're just waiting for them for these chess pieces that YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI is gonna move, man. Now I'm just gonna get a few precepts and then close out. I didn't want to make this long. I just want to report on that through the Spirit. All right, so let's get this. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Wait, let me see. That's right. And we're going to start at verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And that's talking about like modern day Iran, man. And they're going to come, eventually they're going to invade here in Babylon the Great, also known as modern day Assyria, all right, in America, man. Okay? And this is the next verse is going to talk about. This is them Carmadians coming back and going back into their old, remembering themselves and going back into their old nature. All right, they're getting amped up for war, for the Third World's War. All right, brothers and sisters. And so, verse 30. Also, the Carmadians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And that's talking about America. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread, and strife among their kings. And this is what they're coming with, man. All right, and that's why, like Trump, they know, man, that war is inevitable. They know this. All right, these leaders, Trump, the minister of Iran, the prime minister, all these leaders, all right, know what time it is. All right, Putin understands as well, and we're getting closer and closer to the Battle of Armageddon, man. And all the signs are here, and everything is getting initiated, and everything is getting set through the Spirit of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right, because it's the Lord's determination that He's going to gather these nations for this war, man. Let me get two more. Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith YAHAWAH, until the day that I rise up to the prey, which is the other nations, the heathen. All right, starting with Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, which is in Isaiah 34, the controversy of Zion. All right, the Lord is going to use these weapons out of His armory, which is these intercontinental ballistic missiles that He's having them manufacture for Him, man. He has created the smith that blow up the coals, man. All right, He's allowed these scientists to create these missiles to pillage this uranium in order to manufacture these weapons of mass destruction, man, to be used for the final destruction of these wicked-ass heathen, man, and 2/3 of our people that are like the heathen. Okay? And so, we'll end it off with this one here. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, which is World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, time is short. Time for you to repent, Jake. All right, and return to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI before because it's getting spicy. Giving all the praise, honor, and infinite glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect.